Hello everyone, it's Tilly from Tilly Journals. Welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. This week I am planning the week of the 7th of October in my 7x9/A5 wide Tilly Journals inserts in a print impression SPC edit. I am using the Food and Wine Festival kit from Crest Press, and I'm using the colour blocking that is on the date covers for it. I'm also using a foil bundle by Crest Press, which is in a gold sparkly leaves foil bundle. Just to make this feel even more autumnal, I also pulled in these beautiful leaf underlays from, I say from my shop, they're not really from my shop, it's a foil that I'm testing out for my shop, but they are solid foil underlays in that I think it foiled okay, so it might be one that can come to the shop, but I do need to do some more testing. But yeah, it's a gorgeous leaf pattern and I felt like the colours really went well. The reason I actually chose this kit was because it was my sister runs a beer festival in February and October every year, and this was the week of their beer festival, and I was meant to be going down to help. However, I had a long chat with my sister because I was really struggling with pregnancy fatigue, and she was like, oh no, in fact it wasn't even a long conversation. I had a conversation with my sister. Well, in fact my sister texted me like, Felix really wants you at his birthday party, it's really important to him, we'd much rather you came down next weekend for his birthday party than you came for the beer festival, because I don't think you should do 2 weekends in a row. And actually I realised after that it was probably a really good idea, because so there was this week that was the beer festival, and then it was my nephew's birthday, and then the week after that I was doing guide camp, which was last weekend at this point, and then this weekend we're going to Manchester for a Diwali thing for my mother-in-law, that my mother-in-law is putting on. So yeah, it would have been like 4 weekends in a row doing something, which is absolutely fine, but a lot of those things are quite exhausting, like all of them are quite exhausting. So it was the right decision not to go in the end, but I did feel really bad. It's the first time I've not gone to one of the beer festivals that I've been available for. Like, I've always been working if I've not gone before, so it was a very strange feeling being at home. But that's why I chose this kit, but I decided to just keep it because it was nice and autumnal and I loved the like foil combo I'd sorted for it, so I just went with it. And that was a lot of blabbering about why I'm using this kit, but look at those gorgeous solid underlays, aren't they gorgeous? I have put the gold sparkle over them, which you can see in places, but it isn't the most obvious thing ever. So let's get into my sidebar. I spent a lot of this week prepping for the planner launch, which was like a week on Monday after this, so it was on the 21st of October, but somebody else was doing the listings and stuff for me. One of my old VAs, she still occasionally does little bits for me, so I asked her to do some of the prep work, so I had to get everything ready this week for her to be able to set it all up the following week. So it was very much a launch prep week for me. I've also marked in the sidebar that this was when I turned 15 weeks. I changed my pregnancy date on the week on the Saturday, but I usually put it below Saturday, but if it fits in the sidebar I do put it in the sidebar, so this week it went in the sidebar. And then we can get into the books I read, if I don't, just throw my phone on the floor, rude. I will start with the one that was like one of the two that wasn't a reread for me, though anyway, actually to be fair they were all kind of rereads, but not. Anyway, the first one I'm going to talk about is Paper Towns by John Green. This is a middle grade and I am an adult that was reading it. I loved this as when I was the right age for it. I absolutely loved John Green for a while. He was like my favourite author and I absolutely lapped up everything I wrote, but honestly rereading this I was a bit like, what did teenage me see in this book? It felt like it dragged, and it's kind of a random mix between guesswork and solvable puzzles. It just didn't like hit the nostalgic vibe I wanted. I don't think it helped that I was reading the other books that I was reading at the same time, because they were like proper puzzles that were solvable and things, so they were the Inheritance Game books, but I'll talk about those in a minute. But anyway, sorry, I haven't actually gone over what this book is. So this is about Quentin, who has spent his lifetime loving Margot Roth Splegman, I'm rubbish at names, from afar. One night she cracks open his window and gets him to go on an adventure with her, and then she goes missing, and Quentin believes it's his job to find her, and that is basically the whole thing. There are two reasons I picked up this book at this point. It was for a road trip prompt, because they do go on a road trip during it, and also because I haven't read any books that start with the letter P, and I am doing an alphabet challenge, so this was my P book. So yeah, I think it didn't help that I was reading the other books I was reading at the same time, because they were kind of also mysteries, and it just wasn't as good as those, and also I'm just not the right age for it anymore. I'm gonna give like my favourite John Green book was actually An Abundance of Catherines, so I'm going to give them all another go, but yeah, I don't know whether I'm just not the right age anymore, or whether they've just not aged very well. I don't really know. Anyway, moving on, I'm going to go over the other one that will be really quick to talk about, which is the Amber Spyglass. I've talked about the Historic Materials trilogy so many times. They're currently my like favourite reread, comfort read, like what I listen to when I'm falling asleep, which can take me a very long time, so I get through them quite quickly. I probably finish one every 2 weeks, so they're often in my sidebar, but yeah, so I finished the Amber Spyglass, which is the third book, and basically Will is trying to find Lyra, as she has gone, and then they go on an adventure together, and I don't want to say more than that because I don't want spoilers, but yeah, love the His Dark Materials trilogy, really recommend it, really recommend you read it if you haven't already, and also the BBC series is very good and very true to the books. There are obviously modernisations in that series, but yeah, it's very good, really recommend, I love them, yeah. They are long-time favourites of mine. Now, to get into the other books, I read the 5th Heartstopper book, which is the most recent one this week, which was, I have been slowly rereading all of them to get to this one. And so this book is a lot about sort of insecurity in their relationship almost. They're out to their friends and family, and they're going on a journey to their first sexual encounter together. But also Nick is looking at universities to go to, and Charlie is obviously a year behind, and there is some insecurity about like not being together all the time, and this I gave us 5 stars. I absolutely loved like the insecurity in their relationship, but while also both being completely secure that their partner loved them and that their partner wanted to be with them was so relatable. Like, I've never related so hard to how somebody feels about a relationship as that. Like, to feel comfortable that your partner loves you and wants to be with you, yet still feel insecure in that relationship is a really hard feeling to describe and also portray, and I think it portrayed it really well. Like, you trust your partner and want to be close to them, but you know it's scary when you're not gonna be. But it's not dependence either. Like, it's a really hard line to describe in a book, especially in a graphic novel, but I think this did it perfectly. The journey to their first time having sex was also amazing. They really respected one another's boundaries and talked to one another, and like, that is how your first sexual experience should be. And yeah, it isn't for a lot of people, so I just loved that like accurate portrayal of how sex should be, but isn't always for teenagers, and yeah, loved it. So we had a lot of 5-star reads this week. I finished 5 books and 4 of them are 5-star reads. So the other 2 are also rereads, and they are the first 2 books in the trilogy of the Inheritance Games books. So the first one is called The Inheritance Games, and this is basically about the Hawthorne family and Avery. Avery is a girl whose mum has died. Dad has nothing to do with her. Her sister took her in when her mum died. She is a half-sister, and the dad is their common parent. And essentially, she inherits a heck of a lot of money, nearly pretty much the whole estate of Tobias Hawthorne, and to inherit this, she has to live in the house with the rest of the family for a whole year. And the storyline is basically trying to work out why she was the person that inherited, and why he essentially disinherited his entire family for a stranger. And it is a really excellent mystery, and there's lots of little puzzles, and a lot of the puzzles are solvable. The relationships between the brothers and the growth of the relationship between so the main family that is around for a lot of the book is 4 grandchildren of Tobias Hawthorne. They all have different fathers, but Skye, their mother, was one of Tobias's children. And yeah, it is the relationship between them and their history, as well as their developing relationship with Avery. Avery's sister is involved as well. She comes to live with them, and yeah, it is just really, really excellent book. I love the Inheritance Games trilogy. This was me wanting to have a comfort reread, and it was perfect for that. I'm at the point I actually want to reread them again, but I'm trying to read some new things right now. But yeah, so that's the first book, and then at the end of the first book they do find a reason that she could have been left this money, but the book ends with another mystery, and the second book is sort of investigating that mystery, and I don't want to say too much because it's spoilers, but yeah, that's what the second book is about, and that's the Hawthorne legacy, and it's excellent as well. Really, really love them both, and the third book as well, which is called The Final Gambit, and I will tell you a bit more about next week. But yeah, if you haven't read the Inheritance Games trilogy, they're all 5 stars for me. I love them. There's actually now another book that is set later, and yeah, anyway, and yeah, the main trilogy is the main trilogy. The additional books she's writing are in the same worlds, but not the same necessarily part of the trilogy. But anyway, let's get on to the day by day, because I am already putting the day by day down, which means I've not got very long to talk about things. So started off the Monday morning by proofreading a letter for guides, then was doing odd jobs, bits and pieces, and had my planner call with my bestie. I then edited a video and was starting to pick out the art I wanted for covers for the new release. Some of it was really easy to choose, and others it took me absolutely ages to choose art. Then it was time for Rangers, and we did pumpkin carving beginning of October. It was a bit of a random time to do it, but yeah, the Rangers really wanted to do pumpkin carving, so we did. Then watched some TV in the evening. On Tuesday, I had really bad dreams about Bubby and like losing Bubby basically, and it was rough, so I just marked that in first. Then it was work, which was really, really busy, a bit stressful to be fair. Then I went and did some little bits of shopping before GP teaching. Like, I eat quite a lot of Galaxy and Kit Kats, so I buy them in bulk from B&M, so I went to buy those and stuff like that, and I went to pick up some free baby stuff from Emma's Diary. You get packs, so I went to pick up those from a Bigger Boots, because the Boots in my town doesn't have them. Anyway, moving on. Then we had some GP teaching. It was on professionalism and ENT, and it was fine, but kind of a bit boring, but it was fine. And then at guides, we were doing some cooking with them. They're on like this cycle where they're doing either cooking, watching film, or some craft, and I was doing the cooking with them this week. Watched some This Is Us, which means we'd caught up with Only Murders in the Building, and then it just had like a restful evening afterwards and had some chill time. On to Wednesday, I did lots and lots of tidying, and then did some just odd jobs around the house and things. Edited a video, and then my care coordinator, my mental health nurse, came over, and we were working on a professionalism module, so I've just marked that in. Then I was feeling a bit sad and a bit bleh, so I've just marked being in my feels. Carried on doing some more, so on the Monday I'd added loads of different art sets into my basket, and then I was trying to whittle them down, so I did some more choosing of cover arts. Then went for a walk to get some steps in, and watched some Black Mirror to finish the day. On to Thursday, I was at work, and it was really, really busy again. Came home, did some reading, probably of Paper Towns, because it took me forever to finish. We watched some Black Mirror. I sat and designed some covers while we were watching that, and then we had popcorn and some cuddles, which is always a win on an evening. On Friday, again, I was at work, and I was not having a good day. I was properly in my feels. I was really struggling this day. So I've marked that pretty big because that was like the main part of the day to me. I then cooked dinner, which was a gusto meal. I do have a gusto meal script that I need to put in there. I've noticed 2 stickers missing during the spread, so I'm going to try and put those in before I put this planner spread away. Then I did my nails for the weekend. I am not allowed to have, I wear fake nails because one of my besties, Tash, makes them, and they are incredible quality. She does such an amazing job and I absolutely love them. All of the nails that you see me wear are from her. Anyway, but I can't wear them at work, so I put them on for the weekend with stickers, and I love them. So anyway, did my nails for the weekend, that's the point. Then watched some TV and did some planning in my off-camera planner, which was really lovely to do. Then on to Saturday, I did some redating of planners, ready for the planner launch. I did some typing of the professionalism module that we've gone over. After I've gone over it with Rebecca, I like to go through it on my own as well, so that's what I was doing. I then wrote some reflections for my portfolio and did a voiceover for a video. I then spent quite a long time designing the rest of the covers for the release because there were quite a lot of them. I did a release of 14 covers and 17 new bookmarks, so yeah, that was quite a lot. I then read half of Heartstopper Volume 5 and did some editing after that. I was feeling quite stressed out and worried about the launch and that I was not going to be ready at all at this point, so I was like freaking out a little bit, but I was trying not to freak out because I was like, it'll happen, and also like I don't want my business to be a cause of stress for me. I want it to be for fun and something I enjoy. Like there's always going to be an element of stress when you make a fun thing your job, but yeah, anyway, not the point. Moving on. I then watched some Black Mirror. I was printing out covers and we watched some This Is Us as well, which was a nice just little end to the day. I'm normally doing something else, I'm multitasking while we're watching TV, but I don't always mark what that is because, yeah, I don't know, I just don't. On to Sunday, started the day with my usual odd jobs, which is just, oh my god, my body wants to go to sleep. Pregnancy is exhausting, guys, seriously. Which is just like my habit-y bits, so Duolingo, Headspace, like checking in with my phone games, which sounds ridiculous when I say it like that, but yeah, doing a bit of tidying around the house, etc. Then I sat and redated some planners, and then I was printing lots of planners and everything. Whilst I was doing that, I was designing the covers and some extra little bits that I needed to do, things like the cover page and stuff like that. Then me and my husband played some Plate Up. We have fallen back in love with Plate Up and you're going to see it cropping up a lot more over the next few weeks. I then sat and made all of the covers for the new launch, which was a lot, but I'm glad it got done, and actually I found some ways that I actually sped it up quite a lot, which was really nice to discover I could do. I then read the rest of Heartstopper. I put in a 5-star read script because it was a 5-star read for me, and then I was just in my feels, like I was just feeling a bit like, and then my laminator decided to melt some of a laminating pouch. It got caught and then it like melted and it was quite stressful, and was smoking quite concerningly. Like I didn't actually finish, so I think I was on to making bookmarks by then. I couldn't actually finish them because I was like, I don't want to use my laminator, so we literally shut the door to my office, left a camera watching it in case it set fire, and opened the window so that like the smoke had somewhere to go, because we definitely, like, I don't ever want to breathe in plastic fumes, but I definitely don't want to do it pregnant either. Anyway, then we finished off the day with watching some Only Murders in the Building and some This Is Us, and that is it for this week. And yeah, it was a lot of planner prep really overall. Here are my leftovers. There's quite a lot left over. I do get ultimate kits and I'm okay with my leftovers. I like to have the choice and like to be able to put in as many extenders as I want. But yeah, that is it for this video. Comment and like down below, all that kind of jazz, and I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!